The CoryxKenshin allegations are crazy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so before I get into everything, I just want to say that everything is alleged and I'm not liable for anything that I read or see in this recording that I'm uploading to YouTube and other platforms. Listen, I'm just reporting the news, and unfortunately, we have some serious allegations that have just dropped on CoryxKenshin, and I'm going to get into the text messages of which we're seeing right here on screen. But one thing I do want to say is that, damn, bro, it's unfortunate that in this day and age as a creator—
Wait, what the fuck did that say? You would never use for, I need to make sure you understand that I loved you. Like I said, you love me. How is that possible?
I say is that, damn, bro, it's unfortunate that in this day and age as a creator that you can't have a private life anymore, because if you get into a relationship and, you know, things end really badly, relationship drama, you know, standard relationship drama we've all been through, you will be exposed. You know, if that person feels slighted, or if you didn't clarify any particular thing about the way you departed the relationship, or if that person feels used, you know, they feel abused, you're going to get in the end, unless that person just says, you know what, I'm not going to post these things online. I have nothing to benefit. I have nothing to gain. So we're going to depart amicably and just leave it at that. But unfortunately for CoryxKenshin, that is not what happened today. And yeah, apparently here we have his ex-girlfriend, or an ex-girl of which he used to mess with, here in this video.
Still on.
Wait, she okay, I'm not gonna talk about nobody. Okay, POV, you didn't know this is one of the videos you'll look back on and realize he never cared. He just wanted to see how long you'll let him hurt you.
I'm still on. Then I woke up again and it was all.
Did you watch me sleep? Did you watch me sleep?
Yeah, I actually did something to you while you were asleep too.
What?
I'm sorry. I just got this fetish that I do. You know.
What?
I didn't hurt you. You're good, right?
What'd you do, Cory?
Don't worry about it.
Cory?
Good.
Cory, what did you do?
And the caption also—
Okay. All right. So, you know what? Let me just keep listening before I say anything. I'm without any context, this video alone is odd. It's strange. Y'all know I personally don't watch Cory. I don't keep up with Cory. I've probably seen 1 to 2 of his videos. The only reason I know who CoryxKenshin is because of Dashi. Because I watch Dashi. That's the only reason I ever heard his name. Ever.
So says, you didn't know this was one of the videos you'd look back on and realize he never cared. He just wanted to see how long you let him hurt you. All right. So listen, I just want to say, based off of what I heard, right, and the way that Cory was looking at her, to me, all right, it kind of looked like he was joking, bro. It really did look like he was joking. You know, he said, she asked him, did you watch?
Another thing I observed. He got some little ass fucking legs. Let's talk about this shit. Hold on, let me go back a smidge.
It really did look like he was joking. You know, he said, like he was joking.
Hold on, one more time.
It looked like he was joking. You know,
his legs is little as fuck. Let's talk about this shit. Like, we gotta talk about this. You know, you never truly know how people look, because when you only look at them behind a camera, once you actually see them, you know, things look different. Those are some little ass fucking legs, all right? But let's continue.
He said, she asked him, did you watch me sleep? He said, yeah, you know, when you were sleeping, I did something to you. And she chuckles and said, what did you do? It just seems like standard relationship banter. Like, unless you're a fucking prude, or, you know, somebody who can't understand sarcasm or edgy humor, or, you know, dark humor, you'd probably think that this was a serious thing he was saying, right? I'm going to give my guy Cory the benefit of the doubt and say that he's a normal human being who makes jokes like everybody else, and that he didn't actually do something to her when she was sleeping. But
what if he did, though? What if he was telling the truth? What if... No, I'm playing. All right, let's continue.
Everybody will have their opinions on that. And, you know, I'm a human being and I can have mine. However, in this next video she posted to her TikTok page, she said,
wait, this the same girl? Damn. Wait, that's the same girl from before? All right, my fault.
In this next video she posted to her TikTok page, she said,
I dated CoryxKenshin. Oh, he had to mute because of the music. And he hurt me really bad. And I'm not the only one.
all right, so we got some allegations here. She's saying she dated CoryxKenshin, and he hurt her really badly, and she's not the only one, bro. I mean, good God, it's like nobody is safe from this type of stuff. Listen, she's posted her side of the story. We have yet to hear Corey's side of the story. So, you know, I'm gonna reserve all indictments, all convictions until I hear his side of the story. But based off of everything I've seen so far, it just comes off as, you know, Corey, he wanted to have romantic relations with this girl. I don't know where they met or where he saw her. You know, he probably thought she was cute. You know, he was curious. You know, they had a good time. They linked up for however long they had this relationship for. It could have been days, weeks, months. And, you know, I suppose when he felt like it was time to depart, he didn't leave in the best of ways, and she felt used, of which I'm going to show you in these text messages. One thing I do want to clear up is that a lot of people are saying that Corey SA'd her, and I want to show this image because she cleared that up instantly, saying that, as you can see her from Panda Ninja, she says, for clarification, he did not SA me. Ladies and gentlemen.
What's that profile picture though? I'm trying to zoom in on this profile picture. I'm just doing some cognitive research real quick, everyone. Give me 1 second. I see what my boy Corey was seeing. I see what my boy Corey was getting at. Corey saw this and got bricked up. Okay, all right, my fault. All right, bro. Get back to the video.
He did not SA her. I don't know why people are trying to run around the narrative that because of the joke Corey made in that video saying I did something to you, that was an obvious fucking joke. I don't know if a lot of you have never been in relationships, but sometimes you play with your spouse on some dark humor type shit just to poke at them, bro. This playful fucking flirtatious banter. Like, it's not that serious. So anybody trying to convict Corey and saying that he raped her or did some kind of unknown SA, you're a weirdo, bro. It's like, relax. She even came out and said that he did not SA her. Unless this is fake or artificial or AI, I'm going by what she said here. And I'm seeing other posts here saying that she does this shit every year. So I don't know. I'm just saying, bro, this is ridiculous. And people need to stop taking things out of context. But here are the text messages here. The text message.
Okay, so what's up? You still seeing someone question marks? Why do you ask? Because I'm trying to fuck your life up some more. What? That was a joke. Jeez. I was just asking. Never heard you curse before. That's why it threw me off. That's what you focused on? That's what you're focused on? She don't care what was said. She only cared the fact that he said fuck. Okay.
Messages seem to be all over the place, but I tried to line them up chronologically as best I could. So here at 10:21 a.m. from Panda Ninja, she said, okay, what's up? So I'm assuming Corey messaged her first. Corey then said, you still seeing someone? Panda then says, why do you ask? Corey then says, because I'm trying to F your life up some more. Basically, you know, trying to slide back into her life.
You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
She then says, what? Corey then says, that was a joke. Jeez. LOL. I was just asking. Panda Ninja then says, never heard you curse before. Upside down face. That's why it threw me off. Now, keep in mind, Corey's a grown ass man. And she just said, she's alluded to the fact that she's never heard him curse before. That leads me to believe that Corey has and guys, you guys got to stop doing this shit. It's okay if you do this online for your fans, but in real life, when you're engaging with women, bruh, stop trying to put up this nice guy act. She said she never heard you curse before, my guy. You've never said shit, F, goddamn, like how? So when you then, you start trying to be more, I don't know, Casanova-ish, more bad boyish, if you will, whatever the term you want to use. She's never heard you curse. You're trying to be more edgy or whatever. She's not used to that, bro.
That's cap though, because you know what I'm saying, when you first start entangling with a woman, you're gonna always be on your best behavior for the most part. Most men are usually on their best behavior. You know what I'm saying? Especially if his only mission was to get in them draws. So of course my man was on his best behavior. This was 10 years ago as well. What the fuck? Why is this even being talked about? This was 10 years ago. What the fuck? What was I doing 10 years ago? I was still in high school 10 years ago. What the fuck?
First impression, that nice type of guy act or facade that a lot of guys try to put on because they want to be on their best behavior, bro, it backfires eventually, bro. Just be you. You don't gotta put on an act. Be you. Act like how you want to act.
All right, bro.
Yourself. And
come on, bro.
Somebody doesn't like you because of who you are, then bro, it is what it is. On to the next, bro. But
I do the
Cory,
chat in here.
I don't know what the hell happened. I guess he's switching up the vibe. He's switching up his demeanor and how he's talked to her before. She's never heard him curse before, and now it's throwing her off, right? Again, I'm giving my guy Cory the benefit of the doubt because I haven't heard his side yet. But the next screenshot says at 10:46 a.m. he says, because I wanted you, right? That's why he messaged her. Panda then says, wanted me how? CoryKenshin then says, like, how I've had you. So clearly they've linked up before. They did what they did. Obviously we know what that means. Panda then says, like, in a relationship type of way or something else. I mean, clearly she knows what he's talking about, but bro, this is...
Nah, that's kind of crazy. Hold on, wait. I'm reading and it's kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy. No, this is kind of crazy. Because I wanted you. Wanted me how? Like how I had you. That's crazy. That's a crazy statement. Like in a relationship type of way or something else. Shorty, you know what the fuck he talking about. Like something else. Now, Cory, my man's trying to cut to the chase. He not trying to beat around the bush. He's trying to cut to the chase here. All right, that's kind of messed up. I wasn't a toy. That's kind of crazy. I know that. I wasn't about to just message you after a year and ask you to be my girlfriend. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
This is the song and dance you have to do, as a man talking to a woman, with history and tension and anxiety and all this other stuff. It's human stuff, right? Totally normal. He said like something else though. Panda Ninja then says, that's kind of messed up. I wasn't a toy. So she knew what he was talking about. Cory then says, I know that. I wasn't just about to message you after a year and ask you to be my girlfriend. And that's where he messed up, dog. If you haven't spoken to her in a year, bro, and now you're coming out of nowhere, assuming this is out of nowhere, and she perceives this to be crazy, like just out of blue, dog, you got to understand how a woman would feel about you trying to slide into her DM saying, I just want to F your life up again. You want to link up and, whatever. You're feeling extra horny and you want to get one off, bro. Like, that's not how that works, bro. Especially in your position with screenshots and everything, dog. You got to understand that you have to actually make her feel good. Like, you got to take her out. You got to swoon her, bro. That's still applicable. Even if you have clout, even if you're in a position where, you're very successful, you still got to make her feel good, bro. Personally, me, I like making women feel good, bro. I like that flirtatious state, the tension. I like the buildup, bro.
Man,
that shit
shut your bitch ass up
before you get to where you want to go. And I suppose Cory is just not. I don't know. I can't say anything about the man because I've never actually talked to him in real life before. Not even online, bro. All he did was react to my video before. So that's my impression of him. Like, he seems like a fun, goofy, fun guy. Gamer. Anime guy. And I've seen some of his content before. Nothing.
You know what? Speaking of anime, I keep saying that I'm gonna finesse the anime world. I keep saying I'm gonna become a fake anime fan so I could get more followers from the anime community. So I'm be a fake anime fan. So apparently Cory was supposed to be her obedient side dude, but he wasn't emotionally involved. What the fuck? This story just gets better and better. Her friends came out and said at this time she was engaged too. She got an apology back then, but wants another one. This story just keeps evolving. It just gets better and better.
About his content or the way he talks has given off any asshole-ish vibes to me. He just seems like a regular anime gaming nerd, But in the next screenshot, it says from Panda, but I guess I was just a good F for you. Cory then says, when you said relationship, I thought you meant I was just gonna ask you out. She said, nah, period. CoryKenshin then says, I mean, you were, but that's not all you were anyway. Doesn't matter, you're with someone. So I suppose she's in a relationship with somebody, or he's alluding to that fact. Panda then says that's how it felt at the time. Even if I wasn't, I wouldn't have let you again. And when I did that with you, it's something I just don't do with anyone. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's something about that statement right there that just really tickled me pink. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really tickles me pink. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes my asshole clench up just a smidge. You know what I'm saying? As I giggle. Cause like, you don't do it with everyone. Like, come on, bro. Stop it. Like, stop the gap. Like stop the gap. Like, stop the gap.
clearly, oh boy, I mean, guys, I know I don't talk about relationships. Well, maybe I do sometimes, but holy fucking guys, understand, bro, women do not want to feel used, my guy. There's something called aftercare. First and foremost, you have to clarify if you're in a relationship or relations with a woman, you have to clarify what it is and let her know what's up and give her the option to either rock with you or not.
That doesn't matter. If you tell the truth, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. None of that matters. Everything he's yapping about, it doesn't matter. I could be completely upfront and say, hey, I'm just trying to cram. She say, okay, we cram. She catch feelings. That's what's going to happen. Or I can finesse and don't say anything, play my part. She fall in love. She catch feelings. Like, it's still going to have the same outcome is going to happen no matter what. If you told her friend it's her fault for staying, like, the same outcome is going to happen. Like, no matter what, bro. No matter what.
Giving somebody the option or leaving something open-ended is dangerous territory, especially for a man in a position like Cory. Secondly, women don't want to feel used, bro. If you do what you do, you take her out, you clap cheeks, bro, you don't leave her on red, you don't ghost her. That is a big mistake, my guy. You need to make sure she's all good after. You need to make sure she feels good. And you need to clarify your position on if you want to continue this relationship or not. This is why she brings up the fact, I guess I was just a good F for you. Assuming this is all real, bro. Assuming this is all real. And Cory is not doing a good, way of responding to this, but and this is how she feels, right? Even if that is not the case, this is how she feels. Panda then said, that's how it felt at the time. Even if I wasn't, I wouldn't have let you again. And when I did that with you, it's something I just don't do with anyone. So to her, clearly to her, Cory was a guy, that was someone she, I suppose, broke her rule for, or someone who is exceptional enough for her to say, if I'm gonna let this guy, cross my usual boundaries. Then Cory said, you wouldn't have let me F again, LOL. And then
LOL laughed at her goof ass. Like, come on, bro. Like, we already, you know what I'm saying? Nah, Cory, he be trying to play innocent. He be trying to play innocent on them videos, but he really a dog. He really a sly dog.
Said, no, I wouldn't, period. Like, she's ending her sentences with periods. That's when you know a girl is serious. Then, I suppose, after some thought, Cory said, damn, oh shit, this is getting bad. He said, backpedal. You were never used for sex. I need to make sure you understand that. I loved you. Like I said, didn't have my shit together.
Well, he said the L word.
In life, sometimes we're ups and downs. I don't know what
he
this
said.
The
L word.
This is a justification for anything. I'm just saying. I suppose in this moment he was being vulnerable too. He was sharing his feelings, bruh. She then said, "You loved me?" ? How was that possible? Now I don't know if Cory actually loved her. What is love? Is love a feeling? Chemical reactions in the brain, or is love action? Actions, physical actions of which you can observe in reality. Cory then said, "I'm glad I'm the same. I don't F anyone." Double bummer. Panda then says, the difference between you and I, though, is that I don't do it with just anyone because I was something that starts with F.
Okay, I'm gonna let him. Never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing.
I suppose.
Nah, fuck that. Cause it's just like in my experience, whenever one of my entanglements has ever told me that I don't just do this with anyone, I clap cheeks first night. So like I don't know, that statement just don't sit right with me, because it's like what, like what you mean? Like, all right, anyway.
Was actually abused. I'm not saying that for you to feel bad or whatever, but for you to understand. Cory then says, I know, you told me that. I didn't know I got lumped into that category with the person that did that. Panda then says, because I was being used for that, I guess that time when you told me how you felt was not real too. And that's where that slideshow ended. And also I found this part here from the same or a different person who I suppose is adding on to that thread. They say, feels like this needs to be said because you guys are kind of ignoring her story. When she specifically says in part 3 that he emotionally and mentally abused her, you guys are throwing around the word SA and rapist, and that's incredibly dangerous for her, right? Because Cory, let's make this clear, did not grape her. That's absurd that narrative's going around. Ridiculous, actually. But in the screenshot, it says, okay, I think people are misunderstanding what the first video means. It was a disgusting joke he made to an SA victim. All right, clearly, we've established it was a joke. Whether you found it funny or not is irrelevant. Now, the further context, she's an SA victim. I wasn't aware of that. So if Cory knew that she was an SA victim making that type of joke, then optically, that's horrible. It goes on to say, but never once does she say he SA'd her. She specifically says he would mentally abuse her, though, ignoring her and distancing himself just to come back when he needed something or wanted attention, not that he did anything to her physically. And I feel like people need to make that clear because those are both abuse, but incredibly different types. Yes, mental abuse is a thing. Physical abuse is a thing, but they are completely different, right? People are trying to make the narrative that Cory physically abused her, and she never claimed that. It also goes on to say that I feel like because she's coming out with this information, she would have been specifically clear in what he did to her, which she did, which was the weird mind games he would play with her. So clearly, you know, Cory was on some fuckboy type shit, all right? But understand, like, bruh, nobody's perfect, man. And being a fuckboy is not a crime. Like, yeah, it's asshole behavior. It's dickhead behavior. I'm not saying it's not, but it's not a crime, and it's certainly nowhere near grape or SA. Like, that's ridiculous. You know, they go on to say that the first video is quite obviously a moment where he's being a fucking weirdo by making G that sick, sarcastic joke, but I'm pretty sure that she doesn't think he SA'd her. She quite literally laughs and says she'll find out next time on another episode of Unclear, alluding to the sick joke Cory made. Like, I don't know, y'all. I think we should actually be focusing on the actual shit she says he did instead of spreading around that he SA'd her, which she never said. She has 3 parts for a reason explaining the abuse and what he actually did. All right. So as far as we can tell, based off everything I've seen, the abuse of which she's received from Cory is just like, I suppose, mental, and she feels like used, and she feels like he ghosted her and only comes back when he, you know, wants something from her. You know,
That's like 70% of the female experience, I'm sure. I'm sure just about every woman, damn near every woman on planet Earth has experienced some shit like this. So, why do people care so much about this? It happens to both men and women. Let's start off there. People get used. Hurt people hurt people. And it's just the way the cookie crumbles. So just a tad bit perplexed as to why this story is so big. Is it only because it's CoryxKenshin? Because the story is about CoryxKenshin? That's why people actually care? Because this shit happens all the time. I'm confused. I'm actually confused. Anyway, you said bro was emotionally unavailable, but she blew it out of proportion because she wanted an apology. Parasocialism is why this is so serious. The man doesn't present or say he's so virtuous. It's people putting those perceptions on him. Right. Just because he's like a family-friendly YouTuber. He makes suggestive / cringe jokes in his videos all the time. His supporters makes it worse for him. Yeah, I'm sure you all know me. Like, I'm celibate. Like, I'm an angel. I'm like perfect. Okay? So I would hate for you guys to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if something like this ever came out on the internet about me, it's not far from the truth. Far from the truth. Okay? Nothing like this should ever surface about me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I seen Nikki beefing with Sister. Yeah, I seen that.
Standard fuckboy stuff. What I want to say though,
How
after
about
seeing all
lucky
the
you?
screenshots and watching both videos, is that Cory's low-key a fuckboy. bruh, it is what it is. Like, this man wanted some cheeks, he clapped, then he bounced. Like, I'm not saying you should be doing that at all, but
Right.
that's clearly what it is. And
Right.
you know, she feels slighted. She feels like, damn, bro, what the is that all I was to you? And baby girl, like, I'm sorry that happened to you. Guys, you guys gotta do better. Like, aftercare, bro. Like, you can't be out here in these streets, you know, having your way with girls. You know, I'm not saying women can't, you know, they have no autonomy. Of course they choose who they want to be with, but you gotta understand that girls will feel a type of way if you clap cheeks and then you just dip, bro. Like, bro, you sometimes you gotta check in occasionally, be like, hey baby, are you all right? Like, what's going on? Like, you good? You need something? Like, you know,
Tight shit, tight
feeling
shit.
all right? You know, how's you? Like, I'm not saying you have to trick or be a fucking sugar daddy, but I'm saying, like, you know, like the occasional, how you doing? And, you know, send a little funny meme over, be like, hey, you know, I found this shit funny. I thought you would too. Wanted you to laugh. Hope you having a good day. And that's it. Like, you know, keep that rapport. But after, bro, you don't slide into a girl's DMs after a year of no contact trying to get at them cheeks again. Like, that shit is crazy to me, bro.
Well, I'll say this. I will say this. Me and my ex, after we broke up, we didn't speak for quite some time. And, you know what I'm saying? Then we started speaking again. Next thing you know, arrangements were made. So all I'm saying is sliding in the DMs after a year of no contact isn't actually that crazy. In fact, I think when you do something like that, it just, you know what I'm saying? It just sparks something back up. You know what I'm saying? And now that I think about it, that's not the only ex that has happened with. Yeah, no, I don't know. Sometimes you do just not speak to somebody for quite some time, and then, you know what I'm saying? Then you slide in there. You see him looking good on the pic. You send a little heart or whatever. Next thing you know, due diligence being conducted. That's not crazy. That's not a crazy occurrence. You know what I'm saying?
And this girl right here, she basically simplifies it with a little bit of exaggeration. You know,
Whatever
everybody has their opinion.
dude.
She says, so basically, Corey's a manipulative cheater. Well, they were never in a relationship.
No, I don't,
together.
bro.
Let's make that clear. Based off of what I've seen, they weren't in a fucking boyfriend girlfriend. You know, at most they were quote unquote technically dating, but even that, it just seemed like a casual link up type. Like they were going out, you know, having here and there, and you know, that was pretty much it. You know, at most friends with benefits. She then says, with zero emotional awareness. I'd say, yeah, not zero, but you know, lacking some emotional awareness. Then she says, got it. Y'all had me scrolling like I was solving a murder case. But I do want to make one thing clear. Like I said at the beginning of the video, these are all allegations. We don't know Corey's side yet. And listen, in this day and age, anything could be AI faked and fabricated. Like, we don't know. But the fact that this narrative is out there, we understand. All it takes is allegations, even if it's not true, to tarnish a person's career. We
Absolutely.
understand it, which is why, like I said,
Absolutely.
I'm not indicting my guy Corey. I want to hear his side. I want to see what, like, I need to know for sure before anything happens if all of this is real, and if so, why. Like, I want to see his, because anything can be cropped out, cut out, photoshopped. It's like, you guys are getting what I'm saying, which is why I always say allegedly or disclaimer. This is all, I'm not liable. Allegedly. All right,
I think that's it for the video. Look, man, shit happens, bro. Shit happens. Now, if she, you know what I'm saying? If she feel away, if he apologized, and this was 8 years ago, then clearly she's just looking for some attention, right? Like, of course, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying only, like, if he already apologized and conversations were already had, then it's like, why is this even resurfacing on the internet? Like, are you trying to get some money on? Like, are you like, well, like, what exactly, you want some clout? Like, what exactly is this being talked about for? He's always talking about clapping cheeks. Bro, I just, no. I don't have 200 bodies, bro. I probably got like 7 for real. Like, I probably got like seven bodies for real. No cap, bro. No cap. I'm celibate now, so you know what I'm saying? I'm celibate now, though. But yeah, I just don't, Yeah. 7 times 10. No, bro. Stop, bro. Stop, bro. Stop. But yeah, I think, you know what I'm saying? I think that shit happens, you know what I'm saying? I've been in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, I might entangle with somebody who perhaps wanted more than an entanglement, and that's just not what happened. There's been times where I might have entangled with somebody and I wanted more than an entanglement, and that's just not what happened. It happens. So I think this whole situation is, one, being blown out of proportion, and two, people only care because it's CoryxKenshin. Shit like this happens to a regular motherfucker on a daily basis. Shit like this happen all the time, every single day. So people only give a fuck because of who it's about.